And so for sales, the common roadblocks are attention, trust, confidence, and urgency. This is something that we find it hard to get from the prospect in order to continue our flow, right? So there are certain trigger words I want to show you, so I guess this will be somewhat of a sales training. There are certain triggers that can actually influence these things like attention, trust, confidence, urgency. Trigger words are words that you use that controls the emotion felt by the recipient, how they understand these words. So for example, attention triggers would be, hey, real quick. So this is the one that maybe that person wants to get off the phone with you, right? They're like, hey, I only got a few questions for you. Can you beat this rate? Oh yeah, hey, real quick. Right now I got control of the mic again. Another trigger is I have an idea. That in itself sparks curiosity, right? If you really think about it, like I have an idea. If your friend, your colleague, your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, spouse, whatever, if they say, hey, babe, I got an idea, what do? We perk up, right? Well, what? Some of us probably don't. We got one of them relationships, right? Like, shut the fuck up with your ideas. Man, shit. I get it. I'm cool with it. So it's on its way. And why this is a trigger is because it's already on its way. You can't necessarily push that back, right? It's coming whether you like it or not. Another one is let me confirm. This makes it feel a little bit more personable, a little bit more customized. What are your thoughts on, right? It's a different way to fill it out. And so if you want to know if this person is doing a rate and term refinance or wants to do any cash out refinance, say, hey, what are your thoughts on this? If I showed you how to free up some money per month, what would you use it on? Would you use it on paying off your balance on the mortgage, or would you use it to maybe replenish your savings? Whatever they say is going to be the primary motive of why they want information you have. Because they're going to say, well, David, the reason why I want the savings is so that I can pay more towards my credit card debt. Got it. How much do you owe in credit card debt? 30 grand. How much are you paying? 300. Is that the minimum or above due? Oh, it's a minimum. Ooh. Now I got more leverage, right? Now I can control that conversation a little bit more. Hey, that reminds me. So this is primarily for the borrower that likes to go off on those tangents. They'll talk about everything but the loan. How do I stop that? Well, you interrupt them. Hey, that reminds me, right? Because they then feel like it was them and they take personal credit. It does something pretty cool. And then I can show you. Why is it? Because they want to see it rather than I can get your rate lower down. Oh yeah, watch, let me show you, right? This gets their attraction a little bit longer. I'm going to show you. This builds up the anticipation of what's going to happen on our next appointment. Watch this. It's crazy. How do you say that on the phone, right? Like, oh yeah, watch this. You need some real good timing to deliver that. And so what I found is like if they come off with the objection right offhand, right? Hey, Daniel, I got no time for this. Can you beat 1.99? Oh, yeah, watch this. Now I got their attention. Got it? Oh, yeah, watch. I'm actually going to send it out to you. It's going to go to your Gmail account. Watch this. It's going to have, now I got their attention, regardless of what their rate is. Because I just don't let that block me. When I did let it block me, it became a roadblock. It literally did. And so then I created a detour. And the detour was just to find the reason why they need the lower rate. So attention blockers is when we say refinance. This actually blocks them. They don't want it. They just don't want it. So don't say, hey, want to see if you want to refinance? Ooh, no. My CPA said don't do that. Get it? My auntie said don't do that. I read the paper. It said don't do that. Another one is application. Is it okay if I take an application? Wait, whoa. I feel like I'm getting married right now. Agreement, that's marriage, right? Like I do. Like, hey, let me send you out an agreement. Whoa, hey buddy, I'm not agreeing to anything yet. Rate and fees. Yeah, let me show you what our rate and fees are. Oh, I don't want that. Now we're setting up the tone for that engagement. Wanted to see if you wanted any cash out. Again, that's something that actually blocks their attention. It triggers a negative reaction from them. Or would you like to do debt consolidation? Their immediate thought is, well, I'm just going to get this big tax refund. I'm going to use it to pay my credit card debt, which never happens, right? But then we open up, reasons for them to justify why not to give us their attention. Pull out equity. Everyone's driven to protect their equity. And then cash in hand. No, I'm okay. I don't need cash. We're making it. Right? These are things that actually trigger negative reactions. So if you're saying any of these things, please change your wording. So for example, hi, Jim. What are your goals? Jim can immediately come back and be like, well, I don't have any goals. What the hell do you want, bro? Can you beat this rate or not? That's my goal. right? We're giving him control of the mic. Versus, hi, Jim, I'm going to send you. Now it's on its way. Regardless of what Jim thinks about it, it's already on its way. It's a little bit more powerful, right? Just a simple switch in wording. I can lower your rate versus I can create savings. If you say I can lower your rate, you're actually setting the engagement to be just based on rate, right? So if you notice that you're saying in the conversation right now, oh yeah, let me show you the rate. Oh yeah, I can get a lower rate. You're actually triggering that emotion just to base that entire engagement off of rate. You're not doing yourself any favor, right? What we have to do is kind of change the way we say it and actually say create savings. I can show you how to free up a couple $100. Say it that way. And then I've got some options is usually how our pitch starts. Would you guys agree? Hey, hey, Jim, I got some options. Can you please grab a pen and paper? If that sounds familiar, this is really going to hit home with you. So instead of saying I've got options, say, hey, I have an idea. And what this does is it actually controls the guard from the prospect themselves. Because when you say, hey, I've got options, instinctively they're protecting themselves from you. They're not really going to trust it. And they're going to view it as an option. Whereas if you say, hey, I have an idea, yeah, what do you have your idea on? Now you have their attention, and this is how they absorb the information that you share with them. Of course, there's a sequence of how you share the pitch with them. You know, I think I went over that with Lynn. How's that technique working, by the way? Good, good. And then I can lower rate versus I can lower payment. When you say, again, I can lower rate, you're actually triggering them on that word. Now, sometimes we're going to have files where we believe we can only save them $70 or maybe $20 or $50. And that is simply because, and it's not your guys' fault if this happens to you. It's just simply because we haven't been showed alternative ways to explain it. Like, okay, well, what are they going to do with that payment deferral, that escrow refund, that $19.99 back in, right, from escrow? And so instead of saying, hey, I could save you $70, you can say something like, hey, I can lower your payment to create cash flow that you don't have right now. The surge of cash will help you replenish your bank account while giving you some breathing room to focus back on your savings. Very powerful, right? If I heard one of the two ideas, I would definitely go with the second idea.